welcome to our first official racing podcast of 2024. After the long winter break, we're finally back racing, and of course, our first stop was Bahrain. So, thoughts on a boring race?
It's a continuation of 2023.
Yeah, season's over. It's about 2025.
I missed racing so much, and then it was just like, oh, okay, we're doing this again then. Okay.
It was just such a boring race again.
Yeah, it wasn't the most thrilling, was it?
I really hope that the rest of the season's just not going to be like this, because it's just a snooze fest.
I mean, let's just hope it's track specific, shall we? We'll stay positive. It's the first race of 24. Yeah. No.
I think we can all agree that Max is gonna absolutely win every single race again.
Yep.
I don't want to agree.
7 seconds ahead on lap 9 was insane.
Yeah.
To finish 22 seconds ahead of not only second place but your teammate in a race.
I know. Yeah.
Just nobody has any chance of catching him.
No.
I don't think so. I think it is going to be the Max and Red Bull show again, isn't it?
I thought that Ferrari might this year, but well, I have a few bad words to say about them this week.
Oh my God, I saw the video and I was just like, why? There's no need to be assholes.
They're just toxic, aren't they? This is what they did to Seb. You sack the driver and then he gets on the podium and you can't be there for him. I really hope now that Carlos is in his villain era for this season, and when they try and do team orders, he just says, fuck you. And I hope he's on the podium every single race just to prove a point and then leave, because it's always been about Charles anyway. But to just not be there for your drivers, just horrible. There's no need for it.
No.
So I'm glad he's leaving.
I don't think the pace was too bad for Ferrari, though. It's a shame that Charles had that problem with the brake balance, but I think Carlos was only, 2.5 seconds behind Perez at the end of the race. I mean, I know he wasn't really catching him, but at least he wasn't 22 seconds behind him, you know.
I think with Charles, not saying he's not a good driver, because he is, but he always seems to be really good in qualifying, and then when it comes to the race, I feel like Max is an aggressive driver, but he's calm with it, if that makes sense. Charles tries to be aggressive, but he's too frantic, and then I don't like he's not, I don't know how to say it, not that he's not good enough, but he just ruins it in the race. I think he pushes too hard, but he's not good enough to push as hard as he tries, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he does always make silly mistakes, Charles. I think he's always done that. I don't think that's been any different in his F1 career. So, yeah, I think he does need to work on that. He needs to take a step back and, be a bit less frantic.
I think next year is going to be with Lewis. It is going to be interesting to see how that dynamic works, because Charles is the number one driver, probably always will be, but Lewis is, Lewis is Lewis.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to see what's going to happen there. I can't wait. I'm really excited.
It's so good next year.
I am excited for that as well. Definitely. The Aston Martin doesn't seem to have much of the race pace as the qualifying pace. They were looking really good at qualifying.
I thought they might be, because last year they was like, oh right, okay, they might be, and then just dropped off.
Yeah.
Again, they sort of giving you a little bit of false hope again this year, to then be like, oh right, okay, Lance Stroll has spun again.
I mean, that wasn't his fault.
No, I know.
We'll give him that time.
He does love a bit of a spin, I know.
I know, but this time it wasn't his fault, so we'll have to ignore this one.
Yeah.
Good to see that McLaren look like they're the best of the rest again.
Yeah, it's nice to see them. It's a big change from how they started last year.
just a bit of a difference from this time last year for
We'll
McLaren.
take double points.
Yeah, I think I would like to obviously see them higher. And I know that they say obviously Bahrain's always not their strongest track. So maybe in the next few races we might see a McLaren on the podium already.
We'll see.
It's like no.
I don't know. Obviously, I'd like it, but I just don't think they've got that pace yet. Maybe towards the end of the year. But
I don't know though, because you've got Japan early on the season this year, and they were strong in Japan last year. So I'm going to be optimistic, Kitty, and I'm going to say
I'm realistic.
have a McLaren on the podium.
I'm too realistic to be optimistic.
So I'll be the one crying when it doesn't happen. You'll be like, I told you so.
Well, see, that's why I'm preparing myself. So then if it does happen, it's a nice, like, oh, surprise.
That's surprise.
It's like, well, this is what I expected anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not disappointed. I'm just correct.
Just correct.
Correct.
You'd rather be right than disappointed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jen.
Just don't even.
Jen got nothing she wants to say.
It's going to be a very painful season, I think, for you.
I don't know. I just don't have any words at the minute. It just feels like nothing's right in the team. There's nothing there. The car's not there. We're losing like members left, right, and centre. You've got two drivers that are going to be fighting for Lewis Hamilton's seat. I don't know. It's mental right now.
I think maybe
it can't get any worse, so that's a positive.
At least you're not a Ferrari fan.
I was so glad I was working Saturday and only had to watch like the highlights because I could not have sat through that. There was like nothing there, so it's like I don't know. It was really hard to watch the highlights because there was so much of there was so much, I don't know what to say, like there wasn't anything there for me, like bite wise from them. Like they got up a little bit, but the car and the pace just like isn't there.
No, the car doesn't really seem to have anything to even
obviously like the pit stops were just ridiculous again. It seems even after last year the pit stops weren't good enough, and this year they're not good enough, and Pierre finally called him out on it this year. But I think from both sides of Pierre and Ocon, they both want to leave that team, in my opinion. If they don't get what they want and get what they're promised, they ain't going to stay. I don't know who's going to get that Mercedes seat, but I'm reckoning them two are probably going to be fighting for it. And if they're going to keep being at the back of the grid, I think they're going to clash again.
Yeah.
And it's just going to get worse for the both of them, and they're just going to end up arguing and falling out. And
I think they're both going to get frustrated, aren't they? And it's, even though, like, you know, your teammate is equally frustrated, it's just, you're both frustrated. It's easy to take it out on each other, even though they're both in the same situation. They're both there in that car. They're both at the back of the grid. Neither of them want that. That's not
I do feel bad for both of them. Like, even Pierre, when he was doing qualifying, I was watching it, it was just like, oh, I had such a bad outlap. It wasn't, oh, the car shit. It was like, oh, I had a bad outlap. And then Ocon was like, it's only race one, guys. We can get better than this. So there is positivity in the team, but whether that stays, we don't have any upgrades until Japan. So we've got a few more races of dealing with us at the back of the grid.
And if they don't improve enough with the upgrades, then, you know, throughout the season, the morale's just going to get lower and lower. And I think, like you said, I think that's when we'll start seeing clashing and the frustration come out.
It is hard.
It's so hard, like, to be a fan of that team and they're at the back of the grid. Like, you want to try and be positive, but you're like, what can you do when you're at the back of the grid?
They've never been a team that's sat at the back of the grid. They've always sort of been a midfield team. So you'd like to think that throughout the season with upgrades, they can turn it around like McLaren did last year. You know, so have some faith for now.
No, well, yeah. As I said in my
we,
little
you know,
outgoing Twitter chat,
we're
it can't get any worse.
Yeah,
No.
So, like,
Definitely.
we're at the back of the grid now.
that's
So
it. It can only get better, can't it?
it can only
Race
get
one.
better from up there now. So.
I mean, we are on race one. It's just,
Yeah.
it's like I do the same. Like you think, oh my god, is it going to be like this all year? But it is literally the first race. But you just, I don't know. You just think, oh, I hope it's not like this for 23 more races. But
Yeah,
there is a lot 23 races
Yeah.
for stuff to change.
Absolutely anything
That's
can
it.
happen from
Yeah.
here right now. So
that's it. I can't be asked with arguing and falling out between Ocon and like Gasly fans because I just know it's going to happen, and it's always Gasly that gets the shit. So we'll see whether he stays there and resigns or goes somewhere else. Who knows?
no, only time will tell. It's a lot of tracks up this year driver wise. So
I feel like next season, like off season, is going to be insane.
yeah,
Yeah.
even more.
I feel like the
insane
Red
than
Bull
what
and
we've just had.
AlphaTauri thing is going to be like a huge thing, especially AlphaTauri or RB or whatever you call them these days, considering what happened with Daniel and Yuki this weekend.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that could be an interesting development throughout the season if Yuki can't keep behaving like that if he wants to be kept at that
he
team.
needs to grow up a bit now. Like you can't be big like that. What he did after the race was so childish. Like
That was
you're in Formula One, you need to grow
honestly
up.
grow up.
It's so dangerous as well. Like
Yeah.
if something would have gone wrong,
Especially
Yeah,
with Danny. Danny's a very experienced, older driver.
Yeah.
Like just behave yourself. Like I'm glad that Danny called it immature though. Like I'm glad
yeah,
because it was. You can't be doing stuff like that. I get you
No.
frustrated, nobody wants to switch positions, but that is the way it is. If you don't like it, then be faster and overtake him, do what you
and
you want, but
Daniel was on a
don't behave like a
completely
child.
different tyre strategy to him as well. It's like, you're on a different strategy
Yeah.
completely. What are you doing? Just yeah, he needs to not be behaving like that to stay if he wants to stay at that team another year.
No, I've never been I've always said this from the start. I've never been a fan of Yuki anyway. I think he's long outstayed his welcome in F1. But after stuff like this, like, no, you're out for me. Get him out. I think the Red Bull will be interesting as well because I do think, like, I know Checo finished P2, but he was 20 seconds behind, like, is a lot. And I do think be interesting to see what happens with him as well this year because I don't know, is he going to keep his seat for next year or is this like his final year? Because then that's, a Mercedes seat and a Red Bull seat.
Yeah.
I'm free. I'm hoping Carlos stays. I don't know which team I'd like. Well, I'd prefer to see him in Red Bull, to be honest. I don't think he'd want to go against George. Mercedes are going to be insufferable with just George as their number one driver now. So I do wonder who's going to go there.
Yeah, it's all going to be very interesting how that develops this year. I think, yeah, it's hard to know. It's hard to tell, isn't it? What who will wear, and yeah, there's a lot up in the air at the moment.
Yeah. I do think those two seats are going to be like the ones that everybody wants.
Oh yeah, definitely, absolutely. They're probably all in talks already with their management, and they've just got to, I suppose, prove it on track, haven't they?
Well, they'll know. They've probably got an idea of who they want, don't they?
Yeah.
And I think Carlos, like with yesterday, is like, right, well, I'm going to show you why. Well, he said, didn't he? He's going to show why he deserves to stay in F1, and rightly so. I think he does.
I think he'll have a seat for next year.
I can't see him leaving F1.
No.
Somebody will take him.
Yeah.
Maybe Mercedes take him for a year and then bring Kimi up from F2. I don't know.
I'm hoping he goes to Red Bull, to be honest. I think that's where he'd likely go.
If he wants to go back there, you don't know, do you?
Go straight back to the winning team. I think I'd rather go there over Mercedes. I think teammate wise, I think Max and Carlos would be better suited than Carlos and George.
Yeah, I think if the rumours are true as well, and he'll be going to the Audi team in 26, it's a year he needs to find a seat for, isn't it? If those rumours are true. So who's going to want to take him for just a year as well? Do you know what I mean?
Because they like to
They like to change it every year.
Yeah. That second seat should just be like, you're here for a year and then someone else is here for taking for a year, and then I think they might. I think it all just depends on Checo what he does this year.
Yeah, I mean,
because
if Checo doesn't have a good year,
he's out.
Then Red Bull are Red Bull are Red Bull, and Red Bull are going to do what Red Bull do, and they're going to get a different driver in that seat.
He's got to finish like P2 again in the chat. He's not gonna be the champion because that's Max's already.
Yeah.
But he's got to finish P2 again.
Yeah.
To have a chance of keeping that seat. If he doesn't, then it's goodbye to him.
Yep, I think you're probably right there.
And then he might take Yuki's seat. We're jumping into next year already.
I know.
Literally.
I think we're just done with this season already.
We've just started.
I know I am.
And I'm like, right, so next year.
Next year, Liam Lawson gets a seat and everything's okay.
As long as Yuki's not next year, I'm not bothered. But he needs to go.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be there next year.
That'll not be. All right, I'm going to go there and I'm going to drag him back.
I hope he's not. Oh my God.
Immaturity. Not again, Danny.
Just very, why would you even do that? Needs to, no.
Yeah, needs to bring
that
attitude in.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, other than that, it was just a boring race. I did like the fact between Charles and Carlos. That was probably the only most exciting thing.
Yeah.
Rapper.
Yeah, I think that definitely was the most exciting thing of the whole race. It was all pretty tame and boring for the rest of it. No one really moved or did anything really, did they?
Everybody
standard
finished. Oh, safety cars. Nothing at all. I didn't even
Bottas's really long stop.
Oh, he loves a long stop, him, doesn't he?
That was horrible.
I'll tell you what, I love that car out on track. I really like it.
I love that car.
On track.
Really nice.
That is one of my favourites. I mean, the Aston livery will always be my favourite just because it's my favourite colour. But that what are we calling it? Are we calling it a kick? Are we calling it a sour? I don't know. But that car
God knows.
Bottas is
very nice. Bottas yeah, I do like that car a lot. It is very nice on the track.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them look really terrible on the track. I mean, I don't particularly like the bicarb livery, to be honest. It's a bit.
That's a bit weird.
Bicarb.
What?
Bicarb.
Apparently, we're calling it whatever we want, so why can't
it's definitely bicarb.
Yeah, it's bicarb to us.
Yeah, I'm still don't like the McLaren. I like the Ferrari. It's a deeper red than it was last year, and I quite like it.
I like the McLaren.
I like the car. I hate the Alpine pink car, so there we go. I hate it.
I love the pink. I wish that they'd run that all the time.
If you're gonna do pink car, do it fully pink. Why is it half pink? I don't get it.
Yeah, just do the full pink. I like the pink. It's different.
Maybe that's why I'm so slow.
Yeah, maybe they go fully pink. Give them a bit of a boost.
You don't have a full pink car. That's the reason.
I'm not bothered about the pink.
You don't like the pink, so it's fine.
I hate pink.
I did like Jeremy Clarkson waving the checkered flag though. I thought that was cute.
I liked his little chat with Martin where he was like, "You're not listening." Martin was like, "No, you've lost me." He was chatting on for so long, and you could just see the point where Martin was just like, "I don't really
can't do this anymore."
Yeah, I need to move on now.
Yeah, Jeremy was just like, yeah, you're not listening, are you? I was like, no. Like, hopefully the F1 fans at home understand what I'm talking about. And I was like, not really. I don't really understand what you're saying either. But I'm happy he was there.
Yeah.
Woman, still woman.
But yeah. Oh, we had no Danica as well this week. What a treat.
Oh yeah, I'm when's their first race? So I can make sure I'm
Probably
filled
next
up.
year. But probably next year, probably next race. And then that'll be it forever then.
What should be Qatar? That's the question.
She'll definitely be at Miami.
Yeah, she'll definitely be at all the American races.
I think the majority of people like, and we didn't like Paul at all, but I would actually rather take him back at this point than after.
Yeah,
100%.
Because she
Without a
doesn't
doubt.
make any sense of what she says. And she went out and said, racing isn't my thing. Then why the hell are you doing
Why
this?
here?
We don't want to listen to you anyway.
Why were you a race car driver? If racing is
like, oh, racing isn't my thing. Well, please leave.
Why did you do it for so long then?
Please go.
Honestly, I started watching Drive to Survive and I saw her face and I was just like, are you kidding me? Really?
Anyone but her. I was just like, why?
God.
And then she was like, oh, something about driving. She's like, your hands are your tools. And it's like, well.
I think she's taking tips from Will Buxton, didn't she, really?
Yeah, definitely. Spending too much time around
the race. You're losing the race.
Just love him.
Thanks for that insightful information. I wasn't aware that that's how it works. Oh, I do like Will. I do like to make fun of him.
Oh, Will. Just gets bullied.
He loves it.
He loves the attention.
He loves the attention. He does. He does, doesn't he?
He does.
Does. Definitely does.
Like how we always just get off topic.
I know.
Stuff that just
that's why our podcasts are so great, because you know we do talk about the race, but then we talk about loads of other random stuff as well.
We like to have a bitching session and then we
do
rubbish. Danica was today's victim.
Yes.
Yeah. Who's next?
Danica.
Yeah, they'll just get her all season, won't they?
It will be when she starts talking.
Oh yeah.
See Jensen's
just wait
reaction.
until the first
Jensen's face.
It's like Jensen just doesn't hide, like he's
no
in everything that comes out of her mouth.
Jensen is all of us.
Yeah.
I bet he was like, when it was like, oh yeah, she's here next year, I bet he was like, fuck, do I leave?
I'm going leaving. Bye guys.
It just still makes me so mad that they've got her there and they got rid of Johnny Herbert. It still makes me so mad. I miss Johnny.
I miss Johnny.
I like Bernie. I don't know why like she can't replace her. She's inside, like the stuff that she says when she's
talking.
I love when she talks.
She
is great,
knowledgeable, and that's the kind of stuff I want. I don't want some screeching American down my ear going on about stuff that she doesn't even know what she's talking about. Like I want facts and stuff. And I really liked Bernie. I wish that she would have took her place, but never mind.
I mean, Bernie is still going to be around, but
not as much.
Not as much, yeah.
Fortunately.
We can't have everything, can we? You know,
we can't.
We know that F1 don't listen to what we want.
So no one listens to what we want.
So when fans say they don't like something, we'll do it anyway. We'll do it twice as much.
Twice as much, yeah.
Don't like sprint races? Here's some more.
Yeah.
We'll just make nearly the whole calendar street races.
Yeah. You don't want more races? Oh well, there you go. Here's 6 more. Your race every month.
You're not a fan of sprints? We don't care. We're doing them anyway.
We're building a new street track. You like Barcelona? Yeah, let's build a street track around Madrid instead.
God, don't even get me started on that again. Oh, well, 1 week to go into the next race. Another Saturday race.
I hate these Saturday races. Like, why?
It throws me out.
I'm busy on a Saturday.
I mean, I did miss the race live yesterday. I had to watch it when I got home, but next week.
Yeah.
Next
I only
week is
watched the
fight
highlights.
for me again, but I should get home in time to watch the race next week.
Yeah, I think I'm at football. I think the race is at 5, I think. So I'll miss the start.
Yeah, it is. It's at 5. Oh, it's at
Um,
5. Oh, I'll definitely get home for it. I was thinking it was going to be.
Yeah, I'll be at football and it finishes at like 4:45, so I have to just leg it home. I'll put it on my phone on the walk home.
You won't.
Yeah.
You probably won't miss much.
I won't want to watch it anyway, considering where we qualify anyway, so it'll be fine.
Oh, Jen.
If you don't cry, then you don't laugh, you'll cry. That's what I say. But
We're
yeah,
not laughing.
everyone else is.
I mean, yeah, I don't really know what to say. Up to you.
See you next week, guys.
All right.
More
Let's just
questions
see what the
anyway.
rest of the season brings. And
Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
Come
I
on.
can't be.
Positivity. One
I can't
race
be upset.
down.
Yeah,
23 to go.
That's it.
It'll be
you can only
fine.
get there.
Absolutely fine.
well, that's it. Well, if you're at the back, you can't start any further back. You can only
That's
go
it.
forward. So
Positives.
let's hope they go forward.
Yeah. Yep. Fingers
23,
crossed.
23 races to get moving up. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got it. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
Crying every weekend. Might just stay at football and just go to the pub afterwards and stick it on my phone, so at least then I can just drink.
Yeah.
Get away.
Fine.
Yeah, I'll probably take a nap.
Yeah.
You did a nap
It's-
yesterday though.
I didn't, and you know it was the perfect race to have a nap through as well. That's what I was
Maybe-
in it. You see?
Maybe the days of race napping is over.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Just gonna be asleep on Saturday now.
If it's like if they're all like they was yesterday, I'm gonna be napping.
You're gonna be
But
napping.
I'm going to be awake for the start and then awake for the end. But for the rest of the laps, 50 laps, I'm out.
See you later, guys.
I'm going to take up crocheting or something so that I can actually do something.
Yeah.
Crocheting.
Yeah, I think I'm at that age now.
No. No.
Yes,
Absolutely not.
we can crochet.
No, we can't crochet.
It's that group
Let
crochet.
me live.
I don't want to crochet.
It's not what we want, it's what we have to do.
No, we don't have to. We do not.
It's just who we are now.
Stop
That's
it.
it. Yeah.
I
Let's see
I
what
refuse.
it brings.
Yeah, let's. Yeah.
Anyway,
Fun
this
times.
I'm not getting
one
anything
week
else. Yeah,
we'll be back
we will.
We will.
for Saudi Arabia.
More crying from me.
Fingers crossed we have a bit more to talk about.
Yeah.
Yes. See you later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.